Hello everyone, welcome back again to Angela's Craft Room. Today I've got a brand new stamp set from Stampin Up called Rooted in Nature. Now it's got 16 images on there, and I've got Lovely as a Tree, and that's why I got this one, because I just love creating with Lovely as a Tree. The difference with this one is it's still a clear mount, but it's just got so many beautiful big and bold sentiments that we can add to our card as well. It's also got leaves, which is really awesome, so I can see that we'll be able to create some really great scenes later on, but we're going to do just more of a layered card today. Now the difference with this too is that you can get the matching framelits, so I'll just show you those. So they're the matching framelits that you can get with that stamp set, and it really makes it so much easier to cut out and just to layer those cards and really make a really great card. But today we're going to start off simple. So this is the card that I've made for today. You Are Wonderful. So I've used Nature's Poem on this Nature's Poem DSP on this stamp set. My base card is soft suede, and then I've made this like panel, which we're going to do today with Very Vanilla, and then topped it with DSP, and then put the nice big tree in the middle. So we're going to do that today. So we'll get started. So with this particular card, I'm going to do basic black as my base card, which is 11 inches long by 4 11 inches long by 4 1/8 of an inch wide, scored at 5.5 inches. I'm just getting a little bit tongue-tied. So done a few tutorials lately, and so I'm just getting a bit tongue-tied. That's just a bit. There we go. So inside, I've already done the inside of the card. So I've just used, I'll show you the image I've used, just this one, and I used it on an acrylic block like that, and I just, using a piece of Very Vanilla, which measured 5 1/4 inches by 3 7/8 of an inch, I just stamped off the piece of Very Vanilla a little bit, and then I adhered it to my card. So that's the base card done. And then from Nature's Poem DSP, I've got this beautiful piece of designer series paper, and it measures 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/4 of an inch, and we're going to just glue that straight on there. Actually we won't, I'm actually going to use that, and I'm going to work with it. Okay, so this is going to, instead of putting a piece of cardstock down first, I'm just using the DSP. Now also I cut just a few strips of, I had some scrap Very Vanilla, so I just cut them to 1/2 inch wide. Doesn't matter the length, because you're going to cut them, and I'm going to put them in different spots around that DSP. See how I did this one in Bermuda Bay, and I used one of the leaf sentiments? Well, that's what we're going to do next. So all I did was, and this is the new style Stampin' Up pad, and this is Blackberry Bliss. It's just like a makeup compact case is how you open it. So I'm just going to stamp on, I'm just going to show you how I did this, these strips, and I just stamped them pretty randomly. Oops. Just trying to fill in the areas without trying to overlap. And I just kept going, and I think I only used like about 2 of these strips, and then I just cut them down to the size that I thought I needed for my card. So just keep going, and I'll do this full strip. See how there's a little of a so just where there's a little gap, I just like to just put the tip of the leaf in. So there's a little bit of a gap up there, so I'm going to tip it in there. And then just down the bottom here. So you just, until you're happy with it basically. So then you're going to have these little strips like this, and that's what I did. Okay, and then I cut the strips so that I can adhere them onto my DSP. And I've made a lovely mess there, so we'll just turn it over. Okay, so I'm going to use this DSP. And I'm just going, these are the ones I did earlier, and I've just cut them to where I think that I want them to be. I want one to be about up there. Then I'm going to put one, I think I might put it right up the top. And then I'm going to put another one down here. And then another one sort of in the middle, like that. Yes, that's what I'll do. So we'll glue these all down. Now you can use snail, but you know me, I like my Tombow. Big blobs come out of there, so get the trusty cotton bud and just smooth it out. And I'm just going to glue that. The good thing with the Tombow, you can move it, because I want to make sure that I've got it right in that corner. If you use snail, you've got to just put it exactly down where you want it, because once you put it down it's very hard, not impossible, but a lot harder to lift it up. And I'm going to put this piece right up on the edge. Now, once again, I just want to make sure I've got that right in the corner, and I did ooze a little bit of glue out, so I just used the cotton bud there. Like that. So then we'll pop this piece down, And it's just another great way, a simple, inexpensive way of layering your cards. I'm just going to spread that glue out a bit so it doesn't ooze out everywhere. And I want to get it on that side. Now I've got it round the wrong way. Yeah, I want it round this way. Sticking to my fingers now. And I'm just going to glue that down there. Don't worry if a little oozes out, because if you use a cotton bud, that little bit that's left, that's oozed out, it will dry clear with the Tombow. Okay, so we're going to put that there, and then we just got one more to glue down. Then I'm just going to pop this one right in this bottom left hand corner, and I'm just sliding it down till it becomes flush. So that's our first layer, like that. Just wipe my hands in my chamois. And this is another new thing Stampin' Up have brought out, is a chamois. Now you know I used to use the Lawn Fawn ones and they were a lot thinner. This is lovely and thick, and you just wet it in between washes. I haven't put this one in the washing machine yet, so I'll let you, it does say it's washable, so I'll let you know how it go, but it's really good for getting that glue off your hands in between cards, I can tell you. So then I'm going to set that aside up there. Now I've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss, which measures 4.5 by 3.25, and then I've got a piece of Very Vanilla, which is 3 1/8 of an inch by 4.25. This is just to make my centerpiece. And then I've got 2 pieces of Nature's Poem DSP, and it measures 3/8 of an inch, sorry, 3 1/8 of an inch by 1 inch wide is what it is. Now I've noticed it's not quite straight one end. So what I'm going to do, this is just a Stampin' Up trimmer. Not a Stampin' Up one, a card trimmer I've had for years, and just for little jobs like that, it's just perfect. So we'll just put that to the side. I may need it a bit further down the track. So we'll take that piece of Very Vanilla, which is 3 1/8 of an inch by 4 1/4, and we're going to glue one of these pieces to the top and one to the bottom. Okay, so we'll just put a little, I'm just trying really, oh, I dropped it. That would be it, wouldn't it? So what we'll do is I'll just quickly grab a bit of cotton bud and just wipe that glue off, because our tree's going to go on there and that glue won't matter. So we'll just grab that back. I was trying to be so careful not to put too much glue on the DSP, and it just fell right out of my hands. So we're going to just stick that right to the top. So I want to make sure that goes right to the top. Like that. And then we'll glue this one on the bottom. Now I stamped out the tree in soft suede, and I also stamped it out in Blackberry Bliss because I didn't know how the Blackberry Bliss would go. Well, I absolutely love it in the Blackberry Bliss, so we're going to be using the one I stamped in the Blackberry Bliss. So that's our centerpiece, and then we're going to glue that onto our piece of Blackberry Bliss, which is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to glue this straight on, and I've already stamped and cut out the tree to save time. So we're going to pop that just as much in the middle as you can. Like that. So you've got that piece. We'll get rid of all these cotton buds. Okay, my grid paper's getting smaller and smaller, but that's okay. Then we want to put this piece onto our piece of DSP. So it's just a lot of layering and a lot of different ways that you can layer. And all it is using cardstock and DSP. So just pop this one down. Don't worry about where those ones we've glued on the sides are. Just try and pop this in the middle as much as you can. So you've got a really nice panel. And I'm just going to move that grid paper because we want this to go now. We want this to go onto our basic black. And Blackberry Bliss and basic black just go so well together. They are both really dark colours, but they do go well together. So just make sure we're opening the card the right way. And then we're going to pop that down, just eyeball it. Center it like that. See how all those layers have come together? They just really go together. And you can see how where we put these little pieces that we stamped on very vanilla. They just look good. So here's my tree that I stamped and cut out in Blackberry Bliss. And this was the one I did in soft suede. But I'm just going Blackberry Bliss. And then we just need to put a bit of glue on the back here. A lot in the middle so it will slide if we need to straighten it up. So I'm just going to put a little bit down there. So just going to try and center that. Blackberry Bliss was one of those colours they retired years ago, and they've brought it back as one of the new colours, and I'm so glad they did. So all we need now is our sentiment. So what I did ahead of time was I stamped the lovely bold "You Are Wonderful" on a piece of very vanilla, and I cut that out with my layering oval framelits, and then I cut out a piece of Blackberry Bliss. Blackberry Bliss also in the layering ovals. So to start with, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of here. Now we need just to take those backs off, and we'll pop that onto the Blackberry Bliss piece. And then I'm going to add, because we've got a lot of layers, I don't want to glue it because there's so many different heights on our card. So we just want to pop this in the middle as much as we can, just so it shows a lovely border of Blackberry Bliss around there. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. So as I said earlier, I think this stamp set is just going to be one of those stamp sets it's just going to be one of those stamp sets that will be able to create a really nice scene. But I've only just received this stamp set myself, so I just wanted to do a nice layered card, and it is an easy card. it's just working out what the layers are. So then we're just going to put that down the bottom, and it doesn't matter that it covers a little bit of the bottom of the tree. So isn't that just gorgeous? I just love this stamp set. I'm really loving Nature's Prom DSP and the beautiful Blackberry Bliss. So they're the two different ones. This was my first one, and this is the one that we created today. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, happy crafting!